Mr. Francis, Timore, menchen me no edi nkomo na ya boy ho modern say you betimi ate ye ho ase say taxation is some at the same or a tax expert and pay me no e studio. Mr. Timore, good morning.
Good morning, me Asami.
Na anom the same. I'm say TV should there Mr. Timore no but o mo afache me I mean for Francis in film say na metimi feel easy.
Matthias.
Na edi nkomo no. Say you cut tax ye den. Eto ye den.
Me Asami eto ye sika bia ye nyina ye contribute na ye de ama aban se omfenye noma emaye. Eno nti enyina nim se aban nye adwuma. Nti emre bia no asa busuamu se asem bi ba ye se busuafo ntietie sika na ye mfa enkoye yi ana ye mfa nye bibi. Eno nti it's a compulsory levy that every citizen is supposed to contribute, and then we give it to the government in power so that the government will use it for the benefit of all of us. Because yenim se bia ye kwan a onkwa osika entumi nya kwan no nti nyina ye de bubomu ana ye kese kakra na ye de ama bia contractor ana ye de bia police foka ana ye de bia doctors sene be ya yare a ye kwa no mahwe. So that is the nature of the contribution we make. And there is a basis for introducing that ye will be a yegina so e determine say na eze etia. The whole world no ye say ye will be a friend of wealth. What if I say we busiam ye say sasem bi ba ne osika no eso ye den otia kese. So tax is levied on wealth, and depending on the nature of the wealth no will determine say bia o de ne direct tax and na indirect tax. It is ana
there's a problem no dey about because with the direct tax and indirect tax na ba bebrem. Direct tax ne den and indirect tax ne so den.
So direct tax ne ye ade a wankasa wo tia afri mfanse wa wo botom. Enti se wo ye adwuma na se ye tia o car salary a na je say you are supposed to pay that direct tax. We a company and we wa adwuma na unya profit a one na wo tia. So we are saying say the incident or the impact and now mfanse the pinch is on you directly. You feel it. And an indirect tax no there enya wo na wo tia. And mostly no ye say omo eye omo business no, they are more like agents. In Ghana, so when you register a business, you become an agent to collect the tax, and that one is levied on consumption. Say the American kind of wealth. Say who create wealth? Yes, will be your income tax, a direct tax. Say we are the won't create wealth. Now you are the out to be ana ubi mosika. Your mosika no. Near we are say oh the obekwa shop it. Now you just shopping. So if you don't create wealth and you consume your wealth, then you are supposed to pay consumption tax.
Okay.
Say bin so consume now say oh you hold your property. Osika when you no undi. Now the BCC are dining the account. Then we have something we call property tax because you are holding your wealth. And as I transfer wealth and so say what ton fee be na so ton you say you have transferred your wealth to another person and so you must pay capital gain tax. So that's how the tax system is designed. You share your wealth. So the more you consume, no, ordinarily no will think say you have money, and so then you should pay consumption tax. So indirect tax are mostly in the nature of consumption tax. Upra men shop untia VAT. Upra men kasa untia communication service tax. So that is how it is. But you, the business, no, you are an agent. It is a meton phone we na say phone near 100 cedis. I buy say consumption tax 10 cedis and I made the 10 cedis na ka ho. Na me de ama nipa na oba beto no. Ono wo scan oba be consuming ti. No no tia obetia me 100 cedis no tia 10 cedis na ka ho. Na ye 110. Ti me meje 110 na me de buy 10 cedis akwa koma no. Na che se me so meti me ho. Because I have also created wealth by selling. I mean first one I menye be 100 cedis no. Then I'm supposed to pay direct tax on it. So that's how the system works.
Now, apani say ye jiji scan de ama ban a wonye adwuma na what the scan or de be input adwuma e wo man ni mu a say ne enka indirect tax I was enka sufficient to say me kota de me tu ade ne ka wonipa no e bi ade ne bone 5 Ghana aban say tax intino for 2 Ghana ka ho na 7 me tu aka aban at the tax I didn't think about person so taxi me beam directly. Robert indirectly in the media.
Say it's difficult. And you na na ejuma. Ebi amemete Ghana ye discover me from abrochire. Aban ehun se ejuma no wa na we ye. So there must be forms or different forms so that we can capture everybody. Enti we ejuma there, but you are paying direct taxes. Obi nso wo ha onye ejuma. Ye be dey ehun se wo ye ejuma na we nye ejuma no dey oto hotel bia na e mani sika. Ono so will be being so ono so to meet you. You can't be in the country without what the time now you are consuming. Na abai into a police can buy. It can't work that way. So there are different forms. If you consume, you must pay. If you earn it, you must pay. And that is how it is. So there is always a double taxation somewhere. And the man can
exactly.
Double taxation there. And that is how it's supposed to be, because we can't distinguish between who is consuming and who is working. And double taxation there be
because me share me income or tax me. Also sales tax or VAT or excise taxes and so honum.
Communication service tax.
Just say that's a tax in a try who share baby out.
My dear, a try who share. And in Ghana we have that, and we have a problem kakra.
Okay.
Problem is say we find it difficult identifying people who must pay income tax, direct tax. In Timore statistics from 2012 to 2021. Okay. Osha indirect tax no contribute about 57 to 60% total tax revenue. Over 2015 indirect tax is 64%. From 2016 a core 65% of the total tax, because number one year economy is more tilted towards informal sector. And over the years, we find it difficult identifying the informal sectors to tax their income. And until the only option I want to say, you look at consumption tax. Then let's target that portion of the tax system. Until you notice that most of the taxes now in the form of indirect tax. And it doesn't be brave. And that is a bit worrying. We call a brochure they pay income tax. Japan say, what means you have 56% of your income tax. And until the problem we have is more informal sector. And that is why we need a progressive agenda to transform the economy to a more formalized, so that we can now dwell more on the income tax. I bet you nipa ukroma omunye skapa, but yentumi hu and tax your income tax. The only way is say let's go the informal way, the indirect tax way. And by all means, shopping mall, and that one is difficult to avoid it. Just a one talk.
Now, I want to person who will be a crowd. See, I'm fun to say, be a trader. Makofa and Noma if you are man on the diaba. And Noma made the buy and in total, I be an engineer costing me 20,000. But taxes are made to an engineer, I can't home money, baby, at 25,000. But your bedroom market, one. Me say a year, 5,000, I buy the two so I meet you as tax our portal. Bejima dear back. And into me the a year, 5,000 no. Me chichimwa me divided by ebe no me buy no, just to recoup that and also make my profit. I buy a there from that point onwards. So when you pay the taxes at the port no, I buy a there from that point onwards and will benefit from sa when you pay effort at breaking even or making profits now. I buy no benefiting from there.
And what they normally buy or port now, there are two things. Either so kwakodi and kwakotong. So kodia, then you become a consumer. Into say anje or port ho ye nya obi. And untino say kwakotong there, by all means no obe price in such a way say at the end of the day the buyer no be there obetia. So you add all those costs now utia or port in the account, so that you can now transfer it to the buyer. Until you notice say the impact is not on you, it's on the person who is buying. Yeah. In the end, you notice say normal prices in the cost because of the various way na what you or port. what we no aban say one so why ejuma when yamfaso. So let's come to you and then come and take your income tax. So in the end of the day, we say you balance na kakra. Aside the effect say there will be double taxation, ama normal bo akosoro no. We'll balance it. And that is the way you can only, that's the only way you can tax everybody.
But well, maybe what's going on taxation and seven no. I always had a challenge. And the amount of one chairman is a bit difficult. But I want those times you could never imagine a suka say the goods I was holding no what Jamie hold tax no.
Yeah.
It is money in goods form.
Yeah.
So when I don't sell those goods, misika and our local. Sa misika na waje me tax e wo ho at the point to say me dey ba wo ho charges atutu nyina no metua e dey ama aban no I didn't know asansa be me income tax.
Okay, so ordinary no ye hwe nim se obeton no ma no oton wi a na nkaja watime a passing on to the final consumer na wo waje usika no. So the more, as long as you've not sold it, no, the tax is still sitting with you. Ordinary obeton, and you be obeton. You notice say aban entime ntwan e ma fe no nso ansa na bia wa kan say what ton when yamfa so say. And let me state it here, say income tax is based on your profit. So we ejuma nti when yamfa so a aban major tax.
Na me say and say meet me under declare. Say meet me declare say me nya profit.
But who say who declare so a I say you who say that's why we need you to keep books of accounts. How do you make a loss? Akakoton ade 100 cedis, no what on 200. You can't declare a loss. Until you declare loss now, we must look at your books expenses no. That's so you've incurred genuine expenses there. Then nobody comes to you for income tax. You are free. But our problem now here in Ghana is most of the informal sector no, they find it difficult to keep books. Send your sister and no. The level of education here very low. And I must admit, say your income tax in Ghana no say complex. And you know, some of us have been advocating saying we should have a system that will satisfy the informal sector. We've tried it over the years, but it seems it's not working properly. And so we hope say be a no. So if you make profit there, then we have to tax you. You can declare, you make a loss. If it is a genuine loss, nobody will worry you with income tax.
Now, informal sector now. Over time, a bit of data analysis as to say, and drive the economy, and yet I want taxes na free balance. So now I say, no ratio need to say between one more and one more formal sector. No?
The informal sector is standard survey nature said they are about 80 to 90% of the economy, and they create the majority of the work. Okoma kola share a month with Google moton norma hairdressers, chop bar, and small kiosks. They are the largest. And having understood the fact that income tax is paid on their profit, into the sense that those people don't even keep records. It's like a survival mode. It's difficult to even identify their income, how much they've made.
Yeah.
The problem we are having in the informal sector is that because we can't identify their income, we won't get anything from there. And so the best, if you're a tax administrator, would do is say, let's go the informal way. Normal or motor, so that we'll raise some money over there. And that is what is accounting for about 60% of our tax ratio to indirect taxing. Now, the informal sector, they move almost everywhere, and they don't have a fixed place. Any higher office, a GRA for bitimi a banner, yet me who say no, they don't have that way. You go to Makola and they sit everywhere, anywhere. So it's even difficult to even the following day no. So how do you assess such a person to income tax? Those are the category of people that we are talking about. Unfortunately, no, we have had instances where people who are even who are not supposed to be in the informal sector, they are also there. GRA and now Minister of Finance can say even lawyers, they be cry tax. How can a lawyer and I say accountant to be in the informal sector. No. So we have a problem of defining who the informal sector in Ghana. There are some people who are not supposed to be there. Artisans, yes, they work on their own. So almost every self-employed BR, we classify them as informal sector. And those people, you can't really, it's difficult identifying their income.
Yeah, back to the complex bit I try say you know. But yembra the stage a taxi war. We are being told that we should be entrepreneurs, and so we should start our own businesses. And then I start a business na ABR. Me ton phones, me de 5 phones and a chassis. Me koto maton. ABR me ton phone ma kubia me nya profit of let's say 100 Ghana cedis. I say me to tax also na.
Okay, so Unyan faso there, we don't have a threshold. Unyan faso, any income be a winyano as wankasam faso no there, you are supposed to pay the income tax on it. When it comes to the indirect tax, the BTC VAT, we are a bit cautious over there because we agents, Emma buying. O ton phone am say for sika no to for VAT no to so na tonaje breme. So you need to be careful. Until sana so umo ubiya beje di na wakwakotra ne baby unhu no. So there's a threshold to qualify to charge the indirect tax. Baby to say o ton phone sa the threshold need be 200,000 annual. Your sales is around 200,000 and then it presupposes say you are a bit okay. We are okay. You buy a bit me a show. So if your sales is not up to 200,000, you cannot qualify for registration for the indirect taxes. But as far as the income tax is concerned there, so what you mean, you 400 no to your tax. I didn't know 500 from your phone. No sir. And I say, oh, you're a businessman. Why wouldn't you pay tax? So that one there's no threshold. Any income you make, even from part-time work, you are supposed to go and declare it and then pay the tax on it. In fact, this declaration is a constitutional requirement. It's a problem. I mean, what kakra? Yeah, kind of. I think civic education, we are lacking behind. Okay, Article 41 now say the rights and responsibilities of every citizen cannot be separated from the obligation, and it is the obligation is the duty of every citizen to declare his income and pay the taxes to the GRA. So we are lacking on the civil response. In fact, Obi and Tiana tax crowd to me can say it's unconstitutional because the constitution requires that you can't come and stand there and talk about human rights when you have not taken care of your duties as a citizen.
5 phones, profit, 20 Ghana, 30 Ghana. Also go to your tax.
Also go to your tax also.
Who call in what capacity as an individual and also who call as a word because a survivor. You want to survive. What we school you need honum. And in order to survive, then ask you masa, I start a phone business. And the phone business no Uton phones 5 BBana, ebia 50 Ghana. With the air bobra. Where do you declare that 50 Ghana cedis?
So number one, a son come to me register a business now. But one register a business and we can still come to you. So you go in your capacity and say to the J and say, okay, I have set up a business. So register me for tax. The amount tax identification number. Now as I'm say Ghana card no, the number no, a 10 number. Inti GRA I replace it. Inti say I will be our 10. Inti obeko. Now I can say manya some fast reforms be ho ya the payment no fail. Now you calculate tax number. Na so o tax ni. Sa 50 cedis na onya no tax ni tua na wo tua ma ban. Say anya ne sa and I say aban na ntimi amfa kwan mi so anjeje the direct taxes na. We'll continue to see so many indirect taxes, and indirect taxes is so dangerous. It's a retrogressive to the sense that it is unfair because I mean you call more near so where the same tax no metia the same amount no the poor person is also paying. So at the end of the day you notice that the poor among us suffers the most from indirect taxes. And so what do? We need to.
But I thought some more progressive taxes were on.
Progressive tax and then to me and tax and then income tax, property tax are there. It depends on your wealth.
Yes, but you targeted tax regimes for instance, I know that the corporate tax is there, but there are a lot of premium homes that are springing up. Yes, they may be paying their corporate taxes, but if government indeed wants to be clever and smart about the taxation, these progressive mechanisms are in there to see say the people who are driving and on my way say your declaration of your assets at saying what I say you see will be a world driving Lamborghini or my way say but okay tax I would but we all know say the wealth belt, just a few people hold the wealth of the nation. Now, I can majority in terms of percentage. So why is there not that clever, intentional tax policy? The wealthy are taxed more.
Yes, I mean you are spot on, and that is what we've been advocating. Say sometimes taxes in the it's hurting the economy. Property tax. Nancy and it is a minister and so a property tax system. Yeah, casa people are not. Say, the young people in government, do they declare their assets? No. Then they are home and yet do they file their tax returns? Or no or so one file tax returns after 30th April. That could be out your 10 cities. And you can even be prosecuted. I say you chill to me do consumer. But we don't do all these things. So the progressive tax system on my money in a and people are living some lifestyle. We ought to say we deal with sky and say Sanka. We shouldn't be bothered with this indirect tax. We're supposed to go for the direct taxes, But for some reasons, we are not interested in pursuing those ones, and we have so much of our tax burden on very few people. You see, 2.1 million Ghanaians need to have taxes for Ghana out of 30 million. So we have a problem with our revenue generation, and so at every point in time now, you share the low-hanging fruit. It's a fuel. Once a fuel, they will be at all.
Yeah.
Near the atoso. As baby mobile money tax.
Yeah.
OBI use mobile money. So some of the policies are hurting, and I agree with you 100%. Say, as I say, it's a science policies. You hear more progressive tax system. We hope say be a property tax on your BNE. Because local come to Medania is on and you're like
a hodon so no hominia, a hono. A yana nekai cannot because your car property tax, it is the property as much as there is a rate for a property, But we pay these taxes with the hope to say, I buy a very affordable house in my now as young graduates in your baby atna, renting quatinemo, see a better toya quatinemo. We pay these taxes, say, I buy a coin at their mind. We pay these taxes, say, I buy issue accessible at their mind, electricity accessible. After paying all these taxes, these things are not available. The roads are bad, no affordable housing for me to go and stay in, there is no water, electricity, it's a problem. And so I struggle out of my meager salary of, let's say, 1,000 Ghana cedis, and I save 30, 50, 30, 50. I go and buy a plot of land there. Land gas every month on it 3 times. Metia sa 3 times. Now if you bring me mojenia esi single room and now say 2 bedroom e dey see asase so. Me ankasa maboka achikanea if you main road atopo e dey abesi if you honum. Now if as ngofo ya ti area honum, ya san so aboka ko machine e dey abetwa kwan e dey amaye ho. So as to have access to our roads. Then what incentive do I have to pay property rate?
No, wakano. CDD reports on NHS people are not willing to pay taxes, and these are some of the issues. Because taxes in the 2022 budget, you can see a budget 100.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
This is how we are using it. Compensation and wages, and quite 67 billion. Until sign na car you the rules. So it is the priorities. Out of the 100.5 billion, you the 37 billion interest. So far no you 104 billion Ghana cedis. Just say couple percent credit your interest, wages and salaries. How many public workers do we have? So aka ohwe budget no 16 billion penny I devote say the kwakoye capital expenditure the BCC roads and then can count. So how do we go and stand say people should pay property tax when the road is not good? So you see, it's a policy issue, and I agree. Say until we see some of these issues and address them as a nation, not as political parties, but as a nation, no, we're going to have some of these problems. And since 1957, we have so much a quinoa, and so maybe I don't know. And it's true because we come with some policies via
true,
and which is not going to help our country as a nation.
Well, I feel not feeling that here. We have done some 32 minutes into 8. I didn't come on taxes at home. Opening a year 1.75 a year levy. I did to Momoshi. As a tax expert, opposition what saying?
I think say it is premature. Number one, premature in the sense say from a tax perspective, I see a lot of people in the informal sector. And digitization, you beat me a train amount for from the informal sector. World Bank report in 2015, I can say about 70% of Sub-Saharan Africa for only bank account. And it's quite ben so near beating me aya the informal sector. Let's digitize the system. You see what Ghana card. Okay, Ubia may register mobile money. And for Ghana card and ye. And until ye and Kakraka and if ye show more their back near how to use the digital system, near gather data about them. You see tax and to so. For me, no, me fear and say it's going to drive people away because the tax is even not on the fees now you're charging me. It's on the amount I'm transferring. That is the danger I fear. And to me, no, I think say a premature. Some come yet to a book a cra. Now do it me and come on my use Ghana card no crying to me and identify a man for. Or move movie and I say it's me a use some data analytics be then we will be able to tell that this is the amount of income you've been making. Then we can tax them properly. But now that we have introduced it, it's going to drive people away. And we know in this country, very few people had bank accounts. And mobile money was able to mobilize a lot of income to the formal sector. We can use the data with the Ghana card and identify and profile people and tell them, so we can even invite them. Come and tell us, you've been receiving these monies. Explain to us, where is it coming from? Then we'll be able to tax them. Now we've introduced it. My fear is that it's going to drive people away. And number two, the rate seems to be high.
Before you go to your second one, that fear, is it substantiated? Say it was going to drive people away. Because, for instance, I was saying 100 Ghana, and I said 150 Ghana. But I mean, so 150 Ghana may transfer one bet to me because my broad threshold of 100 means one bet to me 1.75 plus the original one near 1%. So then, over faka, you find what is legal. Over faka free hand me say, Ako is legal. At the 150 Ghana cities, I come will be an what the infant say me fatro. So me fatro, I had to is legal a baby saying, maybe a baby 6, 7, 8 cities be there which year. Are you not better off paying the 1.75?
I mean, it's not automatically true because, say, first, no, na mintiashi was so. Say, medem sika eto ade. Na say this time, o say medem sika eto ade na mintia prepaid. First, na yina na EQ.
Yeah.
Depending on how much I'm paying, I'll be better off go to the place and pay with cash. Say, be a minim say, me no wejumam. Na say me mom, ese me ma osika bi. Sesia no me kwa kotua mo a. Metia kan say twen me ba me de be ma. Ana e bi a minim say this time me tua e be ten me a. For bank account ma me na me fento bank account. Oh, and the people we are talking about here no are the people who are so sensitive to every penny. Even 1% now telcos no cry, agent no cry, no more complain say ne boy den. And until we're going to have a lot of people. And we be sida. Uganda we introduce 1%. When they introduce it, records just say about 70% of subscribers stopped using it. Within the first few months, they stopped completely. They said they won't use it because of the fear they entertain. Now saying yet to say some rumors be a cost saying Usikano at the mobile money and the attitude to be uncle. And these are people who don't know and they act on some rumor and then they start. So at the end of the day, you're going to push a lot of people out of the system. And that is what is going to hurt our digitalization agenda. And I say, yes, you introduce Ukraine. Don't you think say 1.75 now is high? Couldn't we have started gradually? Maybe 0.5%. Then gradually we move. But all of a sudden, boom, a lot of people will stay away, especially where they have options.
When Tia say what one is saying, say me the 200 Ghana send the one, when I expect. 200 Ghana cities send the one. Me na me send the abro no. The 1.75 applies to me. Now what does it apply to you? So
I get you. There's so much clarity. What kind of budget no say the sender. Nti per the literal meaning no sender no kwa nebetua. Se mimi ko year and se sanka mimi tia. And even the number of items that are exempted no crampo no is even a problem. So send as we sit now there, the government is doing a lot of consultation. And a lot of clarity is needed. We need a lot of clarity. But reading the budget nature say if you send that and I'll bet you say oh Ghana na say be will receive remittance from your brother and our sister be a brochura, then you the recipient no and I'll bet you.
Well, I think I do a feeling at one say yeah more about Jumedi, so happy morning show. My name is Timore and ye di enkomo ewa hanum say ansa na ye bekono and asem no. Was it rate of 1.75 shall be borne by the sender? Then it goes on to say inward remittances to be paid by recipient. As what you're saying. So
remittance no inward remittance no ye abrochire for no mo send sika e de abreye bi a wonu bi wa abrochire no so or send be $1,000 bi. On say no sender no wa abrochire. Nti entimi nkɔ ne nkyɛn nkɔ sika no.
Yeah.
Nti wo na wo Ghana nti wo na yenimu nti wo gye a aje say yage 1.75% no e wo nkyɛn. But say wo Ghana there sender no sisi ya me send from me momo na sender wo na me ye sender nti me na metua. Na wo na wo ye recipient no it presupposes that you are not paying anything. That is the current understanding we have. But like I said, no, you hear a lot of explanations. Unfortunately, no Muslims say next year. Emrena kanetia.
Yeah.
Inti say explanation any clarification na man tem obe say beka koduru be no na ye ho akwakokyere ye nya mre enye education. Na kwakwa ye say 1994 1995. Emra ye introduce VAT no kumi prekomre no no. Na amanfo anya nti ase no. Sometimes we advocates and campaign with the policy be back and say throw it out there. My enya discussion across and enya ye ho nti ase nti anka the budget no mu a. Na fe de education has gone on. Bebre nti ase cry to say bebre no why we need education. We are not clear. We are waiting for the bill to come, then we'll see how things stand.
Well, I think I do a feeling out to her many a bobo tax and who instance ye babaka na as a tax expert, you know. The comparison no any by analysis no say to ye free ho. No more so it was giving us around let's say close to 80 million. Na ye free honum about was piska. Na ye to no e free honum there my almost about 80 million annually. Na sisi an ye free honum. Na mo ye de ni akire levy so a ye de ebetum mo isu na does it make economic sense? Say upesika na wo avenue na wo di sika da nipa na ka de so betua na so me ye free ho na me kwaji bi ewo hanom say na me bisa say does it make sense say uhia sika na osi ma yi to but free ho
I think say roto no e ka me nko ade a anka ma ye nyem free ho because toll is the fee you pay for using the highway. And the problem we had was that we are not getting enough. So what is the solution? And one is sanka yet me digitize it way no. Oko a mindful for be bracewa. It's just a small camera and a tareho.
Yeah.
To muanate.
Yeah.
So why don't we digitize that one too? Ye free or traffic I from. The question is no. Because if you are told to open a traffic and be free.
Yeah.
Now if you want us back room has the traffic gone. So I really don't know why we did that.
Oh. Let me pick a call as Kakani in D and Command Payne. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Mini Ampacho didn't baby for free.
Ampacho, we are not the market.
Yanko.
You are not by the message. I would much happy from Tifuna. Minia.
Yeah.
Budget. No one someone numbers in Kakakara. Share budget idea by you see as reviews and so as in calls and the budget. It's the young as never for. Ebe queen and I said, yeah, now you're running quite a crew, Minia. Share me the cat I'm just every week will be a day, you'll be a Ghana fees. In the week, will be a 2006. I'm a signing, I'm a Kauna. They say, no, maybe they tax way about that. They say 12 billion. I think the sister Ghana and the Kaba will be on. That is 12 million, sister Ghana, 6, almost 4 million. About the cat. Says, no, then maybe Tiana, Brava, Tiana, how to really cream. Then I could follow the pot to a pot to 1 gallon. I got 33 cedi. No, what Sunday, I mobile money, that's where Abba. It is driving young Quay Kumana and Sa, Yamokoro.
Meadows and a pay so friend about Medino, as so Mama, your cousin, Emu, and Ultimate Penny, in Kumana, and say, Enjoy, not your Kobokrono, and yet Casa, your cat. And but your mama kasana you can express your views, but not with these insinuations. I'll be grateful. 0244-885140 and 0555-6578.
Good morning.
Morning, Chief.
A friend Idi because every Tabora Lodge.
Idi Uncle.
I will say, Yachi Onyano. I was still on a power. Watch Shame Bibri, Sanka or say about the crime of fine. Na education ni eco form and sana implementation naba cemetery bisa anambwa
yeah
nti we share nchichi mu a wa chen dia and let say 1.75% the crime say so at least say you be 5 cedi say ne be ya say o mani episka say lazima approach and ma ye ko e borowinya na o say ye sanfa easy some easy way na ye san edimia citizens na ye diske from chen. The same tax here, say some of the banks now you go muchia. Some of the radio stations you go not the same tax in muchia. Can let's say the two even ordinary person are study every or bread and salad. Minu kase menidi. After the black Tibiano. So be a sending this car was say 1.75 was one time in the balance in Scanami. I think the 1.75 is 5 cities. Name 9 points.
So for Jimedino, SO and the pay. 0244885140. But let me emphasize Emrano Parliament in debate here and the assistance now there is no charge of 1.75. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Morning. Pacho didn't baby have free.
From Peter, my favorite Kote.
Kote Kumase.
Kumasi.
Yanko, Minia.
Morning.
Peter, Utie home. Well, too bad. In your free Kumasi Kote, Yentimini ending Kumo. I'm saying before and final caller. Now, my name is Timore.
Hello.
Boy. Hello, morning.
Morning.
Pacho didn't baby have free.
Because free takuradi.
Yo, Yanko.
Your friend me Charles. Me pese more tax seminar me pese me kakakra. And they say articulator kese and am kwaso ko afa load every tema e de ko bokina on tax. Now obi akofa tomatoes be 200 Ghana. No the tax dey amentias here. So, on could load over billions on Jia. No, because tomatoes to Ghana. No, transfer Ghana or Jia tax. I didn't say.
Meadows and a pay But I believe some correction has to be made. Those heavy trucks, it's not as if they don't pay taxes. They do. Even the weighing scale, they are a form of levies and charges that are levied on them, and so there are charges and levies on them as well, as much as the tomato seller and all those people also pay. But that assertion is incorrect. Hello, final caller. All right, too bad. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chief.
Person me your program so.
What program is that? I did be afraid.
Okay. Brasa me atu amzani.
Atu enko.
Brasa me problem ni is about the toll booth no. Share tax omuji wo Tamaport. Nti so omuji tax we e wo Tamaport. Then it gets to toll booth na ontwa toll na obetwem na obekọ saa. Na ye wo Ghana mo timemufo no ye sika ni momu no ina omuji wo ye ho. Na omude akwako sisi ama omu na omu fi other country no ono ngba no metwem no nko. Na me sika na da ho na me nim se otena metumi yusu o mining na ebetumi aka wo mining no na yedwiri sika ni na omude ekọ. Me se no mo bu mine de me maintain your mabiase o.
All right.
Maintain your mabiase. Omo follow the no so a ko hwe tomato boot wo no under bridge wa omo say omaye under bridge na ekọ asama na omo say omaye no ko hwe ehunu no awai.
All right.
Omo the machines besisi wo so omo ye omo sisa machines ni from 3 days amba be hwe awai tapoli na ye de kata ade so no eno no mu twae no mo de shell no mo mix concrete kitwe bi no mo de tale o initially yes yo o mine okwa disika yetetew unnecessary sika ni kwansi yetew
medawase mini ase
basa me
medawase pi aha na yede ebesi Mr. Timore, I don't know say opening no free takwede na toll booth ase na no ka say wo mo entua na wo be facto no. I don't know say if that was what he was saying and I said
yeah men so mete ase say o chese so fa Burkina cars na so muntia told there na chese yesisi. And okay. I may agree with him. Say that is the main reason why he says But wrap up comments after you. Sorry. So I think we need a lot of education. Yes, sister. No research in the CDD reports. Not just say a lot of people don't understand. Say TRC, then we can be more demanding in terms of accountability from our leaders. And Mestre, friends, NCCU, someone more civil education.
Yeah.
We all need to come on board, and I must comment our station and say, almost why are there more not just say, it's me ababe church a month for.
Yeah.
Taxes and there, here, there, and punto away, ye maimu. I say, Antiasia, people wouldn't be able to understand what they are paying for. And so, government needs to educate the people. Na levy the ye best and kayen ko back and yen konko chichim kakra and sana it me asha say. In 2022 ntine me some me beka ho an me
do say to pay me say obeka mensa na me edi enkomo